Hey guys, Insomnia here with some more AFK Arena. Today we are back with the MAULER team, almost 25,000 diamonds already. Just a little over a week. I believe it's a week and 1 day. So go ahead and look at the team real quick. So we do have K-Sauce, which is finally to 220 ascended. We do have Sophia, Screg, Verk, Warwick, and Nimitsu that we're working on. Looking to build Titus, looking to build Skarath. And other than that, that is a majority of the Maulers that we do have available to use in the team. Satrena we might build, Entendre we might build, depending on the copies that we pull from this team as we continue to build it. So let's go ahead and use our stones first. So we do have 3 elite stones, which we get a copy of Titus, very, very nice, and Thorin, which will definitely be useful. Have 16 stones here, so a lot of rare heroes there as well. So we'll go ahead and see who we can get up a little bit more fodder here. And we'll go ahead and get into the summons, which on the wish list, we do have Screg. We're still trying to get him to 5 stars. K-Sauce we're building. Verk, of course, getting him to 5 stars. And then Titus, and we have Skarath at this point. So hopefully we can pull 1 or 2 copies of the heroes that we need to really continue to build this team and see who we're working on. Right now it's split between Titus and Skarath, and an elite there is Skarath. Look at that. Like I was saying, we're kind of torn between who we're going to build next, just because we don't have copies of either of them high enough to go ahead and build. But we do have a lot of summons here. 40 regular scrolls, almost 25,000 diamonds. So I'm hoping we can pull 1 or 2 more copies of Skarath would be ideal. And there's a double, look at that. It's a copy of Torn. There's a brand new hero. Still haven't used him yet. Would definitely like to see him, build him, and see how good he is. I've heard really good things. We've got a copy of Leica there as well. We do have 1 card already on the table. The amount of fodder that we're getting this morning is pretty good. And another double. Look at that. It is Saurus. He's the other hero we just popped into the wish list just because if you haven't seen his damage on bosses, absolutely phenomenal. And a copy of Belinda. Very, very nice. You do need him for bosses now because he does so much damage. He does an absolute insane amount of damage. And that gave us an elite plus Skarath, Belinda, Leica, and some more fodder there. So we'll continue to do our summons. And another elite. We are getting lucky. It is Saurus, another copy of Saurus. Getting him to Elite Plus will at least allow me to go ahead and move him to Legendary. If we could get 2 more copies of him, that would be absolutely amazing. Which another elite there. Come on, Skarath. Is another copy of Torn. Might be able to get him up a little bit higher too. I do want to try him in the faction towers is where I'm thinking he can really do well. And another elite, which is a copy of Verk. I will always take a copy of Verk. So there we got Torn up, we got Saurus up, and we got another copy of Verk, so we can add actually another star to him. A little bit more fodder there. Feel like it's going to be a really good Mauler day. And another elite. Holy cow. That is a lot of elites and a copy of Falks. All right, so let's go ahead. Not sure we have enough in the barracks for any summons. Just a little bit shy. But we'll go ahead and use both of our cards. Hopefully we get some copies of Skarath is what we're looking for. Copy of Brutus. Very nice. He's just a hero that later on he's been replaced by so many other heroes. But his immunity shield still does have a place. And a copy of Titus. So now it's going to be the difficult decision with who we're going to build, because now we have the elite plus Titus as well. All right, so let's take a look at our team here, which we do have a copy of Screg. adding him to 3 stars, increasing his survivability. We do have a copy of Verk, which his signature item is already maxed out at this point. Or I believe it may be 29. Another copy of Warwick. All right, so we got double copies of Scrath, we have double copies of Titus, and we have Brutus. So not really much food here at all, because I want to save the copies of Titus and Scrath. So that only gives us Brutus. If we use Brutus for food, we could have enough using Satrena to go ahead and get Scarath up, but we still wouldn't, we'd still be short. So right now it looks like the Mauler team's just gonna have to sit tight till we get some more Mauler cards. Added 3 more stars though. Got some copies of Scarath, got some copies of Titus, so very, very cool. Let's go ahead and look at the team themselves, and I believe this will complete, yep. For this week, might get some more food there. All right, so looking at the team itself. So here we have Sophia. She's at plus 30 already with her signature item, which is awesome. Plus 20 for Screg, which is where we're going to keep him right now. Some heroes don't benefit from going above the plus 20 signature item or don't benefit as much as other heroes. Vert is plus 29. So we'll go ahead and get him to plus 30, which the Mania ability now fires 5 bolts per attack versus 3 bolts per attack. Absolutely super, super powerful with the amount of damage he does with his 5 bolts, which is very, very cool. We'll go ahead and swap some of his gear around too. Thinking we'll keep the Wilder Graveborn. We'll go ahead and we'll reset. Hopefully we can get a Mauler piece here. Just went by it, so I think with this one we'll actually go ahead and save it. And I also wanted to try Warwick's gear, which will go, or let me see what K-Sauce has on real quick. I think I'm gonna go for K-Sauce's gear. Again, hopefully we can pull the Mauler. Nope, but I will go with the Light Bearer. And then with his gear, we do have a stone. So we'll go ahead and get his boots up. That way we can get his attack speed up. All right, so Verk, we got to plus 30. Warwick's at plus 20, still at plus 10 for Nemitsu, which is where he's gonna stay. We're gonna go ahead and get K-Sauce up to plus 20. 30% of arrow damage is converted into health. So making him even stronger as well. And then we're saving some of the stuff for Scarath. So Nemitsu, we do have the ability to get his signature item up, but right now we're gonna hold on because I wanna save my amplifying emblems. That way we can actually build Scarath or Titus. Strengthening the gear just the same. We do finally, we're gonna do it, increase to 240. So this will unlock our resonating crystal when he hits 240. So our full 240 team now. So the resonating crystal is finally unlocked. Just like the Light Bearers, now the Mauler team is finally unlocked, which our cap here is 290. So we'll go ahead and see if we can add 1 or 2 levels here. Which 241. We have a ton of hero XP. We're just gonna run out of hero essence, 242. And then we'll be stuck on 242. But increasing the team survivability a ton, gaining 2 more levels, getting to 242. Now we're just focused on the crystal. So as we get more hero essence out of the Peaks of Time adventure, the Voyage of Wonder, the shop, the bounty boards, everywhere else will continue to push up their levels past the 240 mark. So very, very exciting. So the team is ready to go. I believe we do have, that's our 100 there. So the team is ready to go. We're on 23-45. So we are almost through chapter 23, pushing into chapter 24, which I think with being on a little bit higher level, having a little bit higher signature items, as well as some gear will make a big difference. So we'll go ahead and we will get into our campaign push. So here we are on 23:45. This is the stage we were stuck at last week. So hopefully we can pull through it. We're using K-Sauce on the very, very bottom. As you can see, we have been switching them out for Nemitsu to see how well they do. We have Sophia and Verk, who both have 30 signature items at this point. Sophia's at 5 stars, and Verk is just a little bit lower, which we got that stage down, especially hitting the 240 mark makes a big difference. 4.42 million damage from Sophia, so doing a ton of damage there. Like most of the teams, we have a problem with Brutus. Brutus is very, very difficult to get down, especially through his immunity shield. As you can see, he almost completely kills Screg there. And I've really noticed that the life leech ability, even that K-Sauce brings, doesn't seem to do very well on the healing side. Which he does quite a bit of damage, but even there, his throwing axes get interrupted. And overall, when you look at the damage that heroes are doing versus what they're being healed with a life leech ability, even though we're pushing through the stages, very, very big difference to trying to keep these heroes alive. Even looking at Warwick and his damage, he's healing for about 20,000, but he is taking a ton of damage. That is not negating very much with the life leech ability, even though we have it pretty much maxed at this point. With this plus 20 signature item. So I'm not sure Life Leech really needs a rework. So 3.23 million there, 2.35 from Verk. Very, very nice. Verk is really stepping up the damage as we finish our next boss stage. Brings us to 23-49. Go ahead and swap Screg to the bottom, just because I'm hoping Warwick can hold Nemitsu, which with Chimera again goes down so fast. For being the tanking class, it even seems like the tanking tree, they don't survive at all. It doesn't even seem like the heal over time that is produced from the tanking tree with the elder tree does very much at all, because again, the heroes are dying so fast. They don't have time for the heal over time to really work. Scrag has a lot more survivability, definitely, than what Warwick does as a natural tank as we push through that stage. So that brings us to 23-51. We're trying to get past, trying to get out of chapter 23, and we swapped in Nemitsu instead of running K-Sauce here, just for the fact that I tried this stage a lot of times before we finally got the victory. And with Nemitsu, it seems like the interruption with the totems makes a very, very big difference when it comes to kind of mitigating the damage. Plus, when we have Sylvana goes on Nemitsu, which he's standing right in the regenerating totem. If we drop in K-Sauce, she goes right on Sylvana, and then Sylvana can't do her spectral disruption field. So it makes a big difference depending on, again, the team comp you're fighting makes a very, very big difference as you're pushing through the campaign. And seeing where heroes like Sylvana and Athalia end up going makes a big difference where you can actually counter them with quite a few heroes. Here we'll go ahead and push Screg to the top. That way he can push Hogan back because we have a Strill down the bottom, so they're going to push or try to push our team back. And I love how Screg just diesels right through. And once we get Sophia's Falling Sun ability going on, usually that's it, which boom, as soon as it hits, does so much damage. Her and Verk combined, 3.3 million, 2.65 from Verk. Verk is doing a ton of damage with his Mania ability, shooting all 5 of his bolts. Even here, we do have to match Screg with Brutus, because Warwick dies super, super fast with Brutus, putting them all to the back line so we can get Sophia's Scatterbolts, which, as you can see, hits Sylvana right there. And again, the totems seem to make a pretty big distraction. So as we're popping up more totems in the back, the totems are taking hits where normally it would be the tank, 3.57 million there from Verk. But like I was saying, the totems are taking a lot of the damage that the tanks or our DPS would be taking. Even there in the middle, they focused on the defensive totem first. Verk puts up a couple more totems. which still kind of torn here between Verk, or between K-Sauce and Nemitsu. I know we focus on K-Sauce at this point. He's got a plus 20 signature item. Nemitsu, it seems like in the campaign, because I've tried swapping out a couple times to put K-Sauce back in, and Nemitsu seems to be doing better overall, and I think it's due to not the life leech ability, but the damage mitigation that the totems are bringing, which are making a big difference. Even here, 6 million damage from Sophia. Usually between the scatter bolts and her main bolt does an absolute monster amount of damage. Bring us to 23-57. We're trying to push into 24. So we'll actually have 3 of our 4 teams into 24. And again, Warwick just got absolutely destroyed there. But usually once we have Verk's ultimate going off, we can get the stage down pretty well, which we do there. Mauler team, definitely the most difficult team to play as we've continued through here. 3.79 and 3.74, so pretty even between our 2 high DPS. Here again, having Scrag up top to try to counter K-Sauce. And he just popped his shielding ability, or his healing ability, as a tank. And we got this one down pretty easy as long as we can keep Warwick up. And here comes the ultimate, the big nuke. Boom, almost took out them totally. Very, very cool to see the healing ability with Warwick there. So even 5 million, 3.5 million from Scrag. Wow. Doing a ton of damage here. 2359. And again, this team not only lacking the support, the other really big thing is just lacking the CC ability. I know we do get some of the knockbacks in the Suns from Scrag. We get a couple from Warwick. We get some from Sophia. And that was, again, Sophia doing a ton of damage there with Warwick. 3.2 million and 3.6 from Sophia makes a very, very big difference. They are just both doing so much damage. 23-60 will finally be done with 23 if we can defeat this stage. Athalia will pair up with Verk. That way, hopefully, Verk can dodge, which he did not. Just died very, very first hit. So this will probably be a defeat. Yep. And that's the damage that Athalia can do. If he can dodge, which he dodged it completely there. Looks like even the second or third attack, he dodged it as well. We got a slow with the poison on. Took out the rest of the team, and that will conclude it. As soon as we get Thane down, bam! Chapter 23 is completely done. That pushes us into 24, 4.4 million, 3.4 from Verk. Very, very awesome to get the campaign stage done and pushing into Chapter 24, the Scalding Peaks. So now we have 3 of the 4 faction teams into the Scalding Peaks, into Chapter 24. Still waiting for the Wilder team. Still getting absolutely decimated by Brutus at this point. So Nemitsu again with the regeneration totems. It seems like with Nemitsu, as long as you can keep the totems up, as long as they don't kill all the totems, he does a lot better. When he starts taking the totems down, just absolutely folds. And again, their Savius does his first attack right into the totems. We get a very, very early shield there from Brutus, which is good. So I'm wondering if we move Nemitsu to his plus 20 signature item and see how he does. I know he's a little lower on the tier list, but seems like he performs pretty well when you look at the Maulers overall. This again, very, very heavy. When you're fighting Thorin and Brutus, 2 heroes that are very tough, and goalless, and Fro for the energy disintegration. 24-3, again we'll pair Scrag with Brutus. Negate some of his damage, try to increase some of his survivability. Which even there, the backline just absolutely decimated Scrag. Very, very tough team to beat. Again, with the Mitsu in there, even the taint ability that's going on Verk is just getting destroyed when it comes to the ability with Pharrell's spirits. Gets down to 1 hit point because of all the damage we're doing on Thor in there, and then just gets absolutely destroyed again. So let's see. I mean, this is the lineup short of Verk, which Verk even just threw his poison vial right there, his invisibility, and again, just completely dead with spirits on him with the taint ability. So we can swap out, we can try Quesos. Like I said, with the life leech, it doesn't seem like it's bringing that much survivability. I'm even there for what the heroes are getting hit, what they're taking in damage versus what they're producing with the life leech. Again, just getting absolutely decimated. All right. So after a bunch of tries, that will conclude it for the Mauler. We did about 15 tries there, couldn't get through the stage, but 4.4 million from Sophia. Let's go ahead and collect up our loot because we did finish out chapter 23, which will give us 20 scrolls for our next summon, and we have, it looks like a little over 4,000 diamonds there. So let me know in the comments what you think. We're still looking to build Skarath or Titus on this account, see how well they do. Mauler's definitely making some progression just behind the Graveborns in 24. And as always, thank you guys for watching.